Hello all, it's Sharon. In today's video, I just want to show you all our small role play sensory setup for polar bears and polar animals, and then we'll be switching over to penguins. And I just wanted to give you some ideas of stuff that you could use in either a sensory bin, or you could do it like how we're going to do it on like a mat. You could also use blue construction paper, whatever base you would like. It's also fun to just fill up a bin with ice cubes and do it that way as well. I wanted ours to be more like mess free, so I got a mat from Temu, which I'll show you in a minute. But I want to show you some ideas for like ice or icebergs. You might have some of these around your house and then they're perfect, or like I said, you could use real ice. So I happen to have this little lid that came with the Cave Club kits, so kind of looks really like an iceberg. And then we have this plastic little cups here. This came from McDonald's, I think, Sonic toy, but it kind of looks like ice. So I pulled that out. We have these two rocks here. And then you might have these as well. These are little fruit cups, so I just washed them and saved them. Or if you have these little pie tins, those could be icebergs as well. Or your children might have, you know, plastic little things like this in their toy bin, so I pulled this out as well. And then we have this, which came with chocolates, and it looks like, you know, an ice formation. And then we have this one, which is an ice cube tray. So again, those are all perfect for, you know, some ice structures. So I'll show you what the mat looks like now. Also, I've had this out on the table as well for just some information of talking about why polar bears and penguins cannot meet each other and different reasons. I just printed some stuff off the Google. Also, another item that you might have, or you could also color a piece of cardboard blue. I happen to have this Royal tissue box that came from Dollarama, so that could be like an ice formation as well. But yeah, this mat came from Temu, so it kind of looks like, you know, a hole in the ice with water there. So this is the mat we're going to be using. Nate is free to take these little plastic figurines, like the penguins and polar bears and other little animals, into the bath if he would like. But and to have that element of sensory play. But when we're just setting it up in the homeschool room, I just wanted him to play with it on the mat, and so that's why it's more like mess free and it's more of that small world sensory play. But I'll show you the items I pulled from his toy bins, and have items from like Dollarama and Dollar Tree as well. So do keep in mind when you are setting up these types of sensory bins that the toys that you're putting in are not choking hazards. My son is almost 9 years old, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you're doing this with younger kids, if you want to use something like the Jingle Bells, just make sure it's the really large ones. And like I said, I would prefer to use actual real ice cubes than these plastic ones or these glass stones. But yeah, just keep it in mind. But yeah, so I also like to include all 5 senses. So in here we do have the Jingle Bells for sound. And then of course you can visually see and touch all these items. And also for a little bit of texture, I have these from Dollarama. These are just the cotton rounds. So that's just, you know, something extra for texture. And then for smelling are these scented sticks. They're green little sticks that smell like pine. In the past, also, when I worked at the daycare, I would tape air fresheners under the sensory bin. That way the children were not touching it, but they could also smell it. And then for the taste element, this time around, I went with these marshmallows from Dollarama. Nate's already gotten into these, but I thought, you know, this would be a perfect little tasting thing. And if he wanted to, he could also use these marshmallows to make little structures for the animals as well. And then I also have some trees. I believe one came from Dollarama and the rest are from Dollar Tree. So yeah, these do have a lot of glitter follow, but I thought if you want to add the element of these trees, plus it's a new, you know, another texture with that rough material. So yeah, I went through Nate's toy bins and I pulled out all the like Arctic animals, and a lot of these little animals and figurines, even the little penguins and the polar bears, I got in those Safari LTD tubes. That's where I get a lot of these small little figurines in different sets. But yeah, so we have, you know, polar bears and Arctic animals, and then over here he has different penguins. And then I cut these little fish stickers out, so I thought he could pretend to feed the penguins these little fish. And then we have these little bones here from, I believe, at Dollar Tree at Halloween time. So, you know, he can pretend that they're eating something on here. You could also wrap like tape or paper around the bone, so you know it looks like part of the animal. You could do that as well, and talk about what they eat. So yeah, that's why I kind of like these Small World sensory bins, because then if children ask questions, then you can do further investigation. You can read books, you can watch the videos if you're, you know, if you're permitted to watch videos. If you're in a home setting, then you have more flexibility. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and share the idea I had for this kind of polar animals and penguins Small World Play sensory activity. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Take care, and bye for now.